Asante Library in Surprise, Arizona, part of the Maricopa County Library District. Today we have stories about fall, leaves, squirrels, maybe even a bear getting ready to go to sleep. But before we start our stories, let's do our song to make sure we're ready to listen. If you're ready for a story, clap your hands. If you're ready for a story, clap your hands. If you're ready for a story, if you're ready for a story, if you're ready for a story, clap your hands. If you're ready for a story, nod your head. If you're ready for a story, nod your head. If you're ready for a story, if you're ready for a story, if you're ready for a story, nod your head. If you're ready for a story, listen close. If you're ready for a story, listen close. If you're ready for a story, if you're ready for a story, if you're ready for a story, listen close. Our first story is In the Middle of Fall. It's written by Kevin Hanks, and the pictures are by Laura Dronzik. And we would like to thank Green Willow Books for letting us read this today. In the middle of fall, when the leaves have already turned, and the sky is mostly gray, and the air is chilly, and the squirrels are frisky, and the gardens are brown, and the pumpkins are ready, and the apples hang like ornaments. It takes just one big gust of wind, and all at once, everything is yellow and red and orange, all over, all around, right in the middle of fall. But remember all the pretty things, because soon the yellow and red and orange will be gone, and the sky will change again. And then soon, very soon, the sky will be white and empty, ready to fill up with snow. Now, we don't have very much of that in the valley. We've got to drive a little bit north to find the snow, don't we? You might have noticed our squirrel friend over here. He also has 5 acorns. Down around the corner by the old oak tree sat 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little acorns looking so yummy. Along came a squirrel with a big bushy tail. He took 1 acorn and ran down the trail. Now how many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Down around the corner by the old oak tree were 4 little acorns looking so yummy. Along came a squirrel with a big bushy tail. Took 1 acorn and ran down the trail. Down around the corner by the old oak tree were 1, 2, 3 little acorns looking so yummy. Along came a squirrel with a big bushy tail, took 1 acorn and ran down the trail. Down around the corner by the old oak tree were 1, 2 little acorns looking so yummy. Along came a squirrel with a big bushy tail, grabbed an acorn and ran down the trail. Down around the corner by the old oak tree was 1 little acorn looking so yummy. Along came a squirrel with a big bushy tail, grabbed that acorn and ran down the trail. Our next book is The Busy Little Squirrel, and it is by Nancy Tafuri. And we would like to thank Simon & Schuster for letting us read this. Leaves were falling, the air was getting cold. It was time for Squirrel to get ready for winter. "Squeak, squeak," said Mouse. "Will you nibble a pumpkin with us?" But Squirrel couldn't. He was so busy. Looks like he's getting a nice apple. "Sweet, sweet," said Bird. "Will you rest on the branch with us?" But Squirrel couldn't. He was so busy. "Croak, croak," said Frog. "Will you hop rocks with us?" But Squirrel couldn't. He was so busy. "Meow, meow," said Cat. "Will you lie in the sun with us?" But Squirrel couldn't. Do you guys know why? He was so busy. Look, he's getting acorns. "Woof, woof," said Dog. "Will you run in the field with us?" But Squirrel couldn't. He was so busy. That's a big piece of corn. "Hoo, hoo, hoo," called Owl. "Will you watch the moon with us?" But Squirrel couldn't. He was fast asleep. Why was he fast asleep? Because he had been so busy. This story is called Fall is Not Easy, and it's by Marty Kelly. Winter is easy. My branches are bare. Then the snow starts to melt, and spring is in the air. Springtime is easy. Green leaves start to grow. Let's see. You guys see those green leaves? Green leaves start to grow. The spring rains are followed by summer's warm glow. Summer is easy. Just bask in the sun. Then breezes blow colder and summer is done. Fall is not easy. It's time for a change. Green leaves turn colors, but mine all look strange. This isn't right. And that's just wrong. My colors don't go where my colors belong. My leaves should be fire, all brilliant and bright. And I try and I try, but I just can't get it right. And when my patience begins to wear thin, look how pretty. My leaves all fall off. And it's winter again. Winter is easy. Our next story is The Little Yellow Leaf. This book is by Karen Berger, and we'd like to thank Green Willow for letting us read it. It was autumn. In the hush of the forest, a lone yellow leaf clung to a branch of a great oak tree. "I'm not ready yet," thought the little yellow leaf, as a riot of fiery leaves chased and swirled around the tree. "Not yet," thought the little yellow leaf, as the afternoon sun beckoned and teased. "Not ready," thought the little yellow leaf, as apples grew musky, pumpkins grew heavy, and flocks of geese took wing. "Still not," he thought, as the other leaves gathered into great heaps, crackly dry, where children played. A chill filled the air, and the sun sank low. "Not ready," thought the little yellow leaf, as a heavy harvest moon bloomed amber in the starry sky. "Not yet, not yet, not yet." Through the long night, snow flurried, and the little yellow leaf held fast to the great oak tree. Days passed by, and still the little yellow leaf held tight, alone. He searched the bare branches, covered only with a shimmer of snow, alone. And then, high up on an icy branch, a scarlet flash, one more leaf holding tight. "You're here?" called the little yellow leaf. "I am," said little scarlet leaf. "Like me," said the little yellow leaf. Neither spoke. Finally, "Will you?" asked little scarlet leaf. "I will," said the little yellow leaf. And 1, 2, 3, they let go and soared. Into the waiting wind they danced, off and away, together. They had fun when they let go, didn't they? We're going to do this song with some scarves. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 little leaves in a tall tree, as bright and pretty as they can be. Along came the wind blowing all around, and the red leaf went tumbling down. Now we've got 1, 2, 3. 3 little leaves in the tall tree, as bright and pretty as they can be. Along came the breeze blowing all around. What color is this one? Green. The green leaf went twirling down. 1, 2. 2 little leaves in the tall tree, as bright and pretty as they can be. Along came the breeze blowing all around, and the yellow leaf went tumbling down. 1 left. 1 little leaf in the tall tree, as bright and pretty as it could be. Along came the breeze blowing all around, and the orange leaf went tumbling down. This story is one of my favorites. It's called Bear Has a Story to Tell. And it is written by Philip C. Stead, and the pictures are by Aaron E. Stead. And we'd like to thank Roaring Books for letting us read this. It was almost winter, and Bear was getting sleepy. But first, Bear had a story to tell. "Mouse, would you like to hear a story?" Bear asked with a yawn. "I'm sorry, Bear," said Mouse, "but it's almost winter, and I have many seeds to gather." Bear helped Mouse find seeds on the forest floor. When they had finished, Mouse said, "See you soon," and tunneled underground to wait for spring. Bear took slow, sleepy steps through the forest. Fallen leaves crunched under his feet. "Hello, Duck," said Bear, sitting down to rest his tired legs. "Would you like to hear a story?" "I'm sorry, Bear," said Duck, "but it's almost winter, and I have to get ready to fly south." "I'll miss you, Duck," said Bear. He raised a paw to check the direction of the wind. "I'll miss you too," said Duck, and off he flew. The sun was heavy and low in the sky. Bear's eyelids were getting heavy too. He counted colors to stay awake. 1, 2, 3 pink clouds. 1, 2 red leaves. 1 green frog. "Hello," said Bear. "Would you like to hear a story?" "Ribbit." "I'm sorry, Bear," said Frog, "but it's almost winter. I have to find a warm place to sleep." Bear dug a frog-sized hole between 2 evergreens. Then he tucked Frog in under a blanket of leaves and pine needles. "Thank you, Bear," said Frog. "I'll see you in the spring." Bear leaned against the old oak tree. He stretched and yawned and scratched at his belly. I wonder if Mole is awake, he thought. Mole, are you there, Mole? Mole was already asleep. Good night, Mole, said Bear with a sigh. The first winter snowflakes began to fall. Many months passed and the sun returned. It melted the snow and woke the trees. Bear rolled out onto the green grass. It's spring, he said. Now I can tell my story. But first, Bear brought Mouse an acorn. Thank you, Bear, said Mouse. Mouse was hungry after the long winter. Welcome home, Duck, called Bear. You must be tired from your journey. Bear showed Duck a shady mud puddle that he'd found. Bear placed Frog in the sunshine until he was warm and awake. Frog opened one eye and then the other. Good morning, said Bear. Bear, Mouse, Duck, and Frog waited all day for Mole to wake up. Finally, Mole poked his nose out into the moonlight. Mole, said Bear, would you like to hear a story? Bear gathered his friends. He sat up straight and cleared his throat. He puffed out his chest, and with all his friends listening, Bear could not remember his story. It was such a good story, he said, hanging his head. But winter is a very long time for a bear to remember. The friends sat quiet for a minute. Then Mouse said, maybe your story is about a bear. And Duck said, maybe your story is about the busy time, just before winter. I think there should be other characters too, suggested Frog. Like a mole, said Mole, and a mouse and a duck and a frog. Bear sat up straight again. He cleared his throat, puffed out his chest, and began his story with, it was almost winter and Bear was getting sleepy. Here is another scarf song. So if you can get a scarf or maybe a washcloth or anything that you can toss around. And this is to the tune of London Bridge is Falling Down. Autumn leaves are falling down, falling down, falling down. Autumn leaves are falling down, falling to the ground. Wind will blow them round and round, round and round, round and round. Wind will blow them round and round, all around the town. Rake them up into a pile, into a pile, into a pile. Rake them up into a pile, make it tall. Now let's jump into the pile, into the pile, into the pile. Now let's jump into the pile. Fall is fun. We have one last story. It's called Nuts to You, and it's by Lois Ellert. And we would like to thank Voyager Books for letting us read this today. See that squirrel in our tree? I think he'd rather live with me. I'll wait a while. He could be shy, or maybe he likes it way up high. Look, here he comes trying to hide. He can't wait to get inside. He's in the flowers. He's really bad. He's digging up bulbs. My mom is mad. There he goes up the bricks on his claws. He steals seeds and eats with his paws. Walking on tiptoe, tail held high, he brushes my plants as he zips by. In our window box, watching us eat, he sits on the flowers and begs for a treat. I opened my window for some fresh air, but I forgot the screen had a tear. When I came back, guess what I found? That squirrel was there looking around. So I got some nuts, ran out the door, tapped one on the sidewalk, and left a few more. Nuts to you!" I shouted as loud as I could. The squirrel peeked out. I knew he would. He looked to the left, he looked to the right, he ran down the bricks and took a big bite. He ate all those nuts. Then he scampered away, but he'll get hungry again someday. I'll keep nuts in my pockets, one or two, and when I see him, I'll say nuts to you. Thank you for joining me for fall stories with lots of squirrels and lots of leaves and even a bear. I hope you guys have a wonderful fall. Make sure that you put some stuff on hold so that you can come to curbside pickup and visit us here at the Asante Public Library in Surprise, Arizona. Don't forget our curbside crafts and lots of other fun things. Check out our website. Bye, guys.
Did you know that you can still check out books, movies, and music from your local library? Use our library catalog at mcldac.org to request your items and use our curbside pickup service to pick them up. Curbside is available Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and we have additional hours on Tuesdays from 5 to 7 p.m.